So a lot of you might be looking at the markets, seeing Bitcoin pump, and you're wondering like, when's alt season? Or when is GameFi season? When is that coming around? Because a lot of these coins are still near lows and have yet to have their pump. Well, I've got some good news for you. I've been in the crypto markets for a whole cycle now. A little over 4 years. So what I was experiencing 4 years ago today as a newcomer to the crypto market are what I'd expect the newcomers that have come in over this past couple months and what they're experiencing right now. So let me show you a little of how my experience went. So this is Bitcoin right here. This is the chart over the past, about 4.5 years. If we look at October, November of 2020, we're looking at about right in this area. So Bitcoin was still around 17, 18,000. And as a new person to the crypto market, that's what I was really focused on. This is where I started buying Bitcoin aggressively and then watching it trend up. Now, it wasn't until about January 2021 where I decided to look a little deeper into crypto. At that point, I had already loaded up on Bitcoin and I had some Ethereum, but I wanted to look a little further. And I was introduced to the whole idea of Web3 gaming and NFTs. So that's where really my whole journey in, GameFi started. But it was that January 2021, so we're looking around this area, when something for some reason told me I need to look into these other coins. Now, if you can see, Bitcoin had already pumped up and we were kind of in a sideways trend, and I wanted to, take some of that profits I had already made in Bitcoin and move it to somewhere else. Now, we haven't even hit that part of the cycle yet because we're still right here in this part of the cycle. So all the new people who have seen Bitcoin pumping over the past few weeks and have jumped in, I don't think they've branched outside of Bitcoin yet. I think they're still here and they may still be here for another couple months. But I got some really good news for you. So let me move over to the two coins that I started with on my journey. So it was January 2021 when I started looking into more of these coins. And the first one that I really, clung on to and wanted to make my first purchase was the SAND token. Now, if we go over to January 2021, we're looking at right here. As you can see, way before any pump happened. And if we're looking at November, that's right in this area. So for your altcoins, for your GameFi coins, we haven't even hit to that point where they start to have a breakout. So in January 2021, I took a little gamble on the SAND token. And then as you can see from there, it went up from, I remember buying it about 8 cents all the way up here to over $8. So I made 100x on that coin. And compared to last cycle, I wouldn't even have bought into this for another 2 months. And let's take another look. So the second GameFi coin that I really decided to get into was AXS. I had started playing Axie Infinity. I got some Axies. I did the whole scholarship thing. So I started buying some AXS around that same time, maybe a little later. So maybe we're looking at February or even March of 2021. So let's see. February, March of 2021, again, right here. So we're looking at 4 months out from where we are now compared to that last cycle. And this is where I started buying in. I think I remember I had bought a lot around $4.50, $5. So then I rode that all the way up and it went up to about $150. I will admit on this one, I did kind of screw myself over because I was playing the actual game. As this coin was going up, I was using this coin to breed more Axies. So that was a mistake. In hindsight, I didn't know that at the time, but definitely a lesson learned. And if you'd like me to make more of a video more on like the lessons that I learned during that cycle in the GameFi space and how I'm going to apply that to this cycle, let me know down below and I can make that video for you. But this video is all about just telling you that just because you see Bitcoin pumping and all these altcoins and GameFi coins are still sitting close to their lows, don't worry. Obviously, this isn't financial advice and we don't know for sure. But if the cycles rhyme like they've been so far, we may still see another 2-3 months of these coins staying low before we get these crazy moves. Like this move for AXS didn't start until June. So that would be June of 2025. Some of these coins might even not start pumping until that point. So looking back to the Bitcoin price right here, for the last cycle, we're still sitting around this point. So there's a good chance we could see Bitcoin continue to go up even higher. So maybe what we see here is this continues up for a little bit. When we get into, January, February, maybe this starts chopping a little bit and then it goes up again, till it hits its its all-time high. And, you know, that may not be until, you know, over here in the fall. Obviously, all these numbers are speculative, but we could be looking closer to around this point. So we're looking in around February, March of 2025, maybe Bitcoin's over $100,000 before we really see these altcoins and these GameFi coins, you know, take off. Who knows if that's going to happen? That's what I'm counting on. Like I said, I've been through this cycle before. So right now, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about these coins still trading at, you know, the lows that they're trading at. I'm just stacking for when that time comes for them to break out. And then there's always the argument is like, is this going to be the same? Or is this time different? Or is this time the same? An argument can be made for both sides, you know, different versus not different. But if we're thinking that this is different, I would say that the difference is going to be even more bullish for the space, because during, you know, 4 years ago, the whole Web3 gaming, you know, narrative was just, it was so brand new. There wasn't any good games. The games that really took off are, you know, Axie Infinity and like the Sandbox. And if you look at those now, they don't compare to these new games that we're seeing like Illuvium and Off the Grid. And there wasn't these projects like Lizard Labs and Xborg that are bringing the Web3 gaming community together. Really, the takeaways here is don't worry about these altcoins. I think their time is coming. It may not be next week or next month, but don't get frustrated. If you're in this market now, I think you're going to do really well. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. I'll make more videos like this. I think I have a lot to teach in this space. You know, now I can consider myself a veteran of the space. I've been through a whole cycle. Now I'm into that second cycle. And I've been there before. I know what to look for. I'm excited for this because I know I'm going to do really well, and I want you to do well as well. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.